Under the Red Sky of Australia. A story of romance, adventure, and decisions that change everything. Complete narration. The beginning of the end. The air was dry, laden with salt and dust, and smelled of freedom. Rachel Carter never thought she would accept a mission like this. After years behind a desk as a conservationist in New York, the idea of spending 3 weeks traversing the deserts and jungle, Australia, to evaluate the impact of tourism on natural reserves seemed crazy. But when his boss told him he would have to work with a local wildlife expert, one that, according to his action, it was as difficult as the snakes she studied, Rachel knew she was about to embark on something bigger than an ecological evaluation. What she didn't know was that expert was Logan Reed, the same man who had broken her heart 7 years before. Reunions that burn. The helicopter landed in a dusty clearing, just outside Alice Springs. Rachel got off sea. With her backpack on her shoulder, her new boots full of dirt, and her head full of questions. Logan was there, waiting for her with his arms crossed, more tanned and rugged than she remembered. His beard gives. He had a wild air, and his blue eyes, the same ones that once made her forget the world, were still fixed on her like blades. "I thought you didn't like the heat," he said, without smiling. "And why? I thought you didn't accept help," she replied, firmly. Silence. Only the Australian inland wind surrounded them. In the distance, a flock of parrots crossed the orange sky. The reunion did not. It could have been more uncomfortable or more electrically charged. The journey begins. During the first few days, Rachel and Logan traveled in an old Toyota pickup truck, camping in protected areas. He made notes, measuring the environmental impact, discussing. He challenged her at every moment. She pushed him to remember that, under that hardened exterior, there still existed the man who once taught her to love. For outdoor life, as they advanced northward, the desert became jungle, and the tensions between them also changed. One night, camping near Kakadu National Park, a storm forced them to take refuge in the same tent. The distance was broken. Rachel looked at him with anger, with desire, with unanswered questions. "Why did you disappear without saying anything?" she asked, soaked, her eyes fixed on his. Logan swallowed. "Because I fell in love with you more than I should have, and I couldn't stay. Not then." Between crocodiles and truths. The following day. Next, while crossing a small river in a canoe, a crocodile suddenly emerged. Rachel almost fell into the water, but Logan reacted with a speed that left her breathless. He helped her to safety. Oh, and upon reaching the shore, both trembled, not only from fright, but from how close they came to losing each other again. That night, beside the bonfire, he spoke to her of his sick mother, of the debts that forced him to cut everything, how he had loved her but could not drag her into his destroyed world. Rachel, in tears, told him that she had been engaged, but that no one had managed to. "I feel like him. Nobody, in 7 years." Chapter 5. The Lost Oasis. In the last stage of the journey, they arrived at a remote area in the north, where according to ancient records there was a hidden oasis, among rock formations. Logan, obsessed with finding it since he was young, devoted himself to the search with fervor. Rachel began to understand that for him, that place was more than a legend. It was a symbol of redemption, a place that would prove it was worth staying. And then they found it. The oasis was real, a turquoise water pond surrounded by impossible vegetation, with a sky so blue it seemed painted. They embraced, laughed, and for the first time in years, Rachel felt she could stay there forever. That night they made love under the stars. Difficult decisions, but the happy dad never is eternal. 2 days later, Rachel received an urgent call. Her mother had been hospitalized in New York. She had to return immediately. Logan looked at her with a broken heart. "And if not, are you coming back?" he asked, knowing the answer. She cried, "I can't promise you that I will. Not now." He nodded, his heart broken. "Then tell me that you at least tried." Under the sieve red dawn, Rachel left. The helicopter took off at dawn with the sky dyed fiery red. Logan did not see her off in person. She saw him from a distance, standing on a rock, watching the horizon like a shadow engraved in her memory. Weeks passed. Then months. Rachel dedicated herself to caring for her mother, to reorganizing her life, but in her mind he remained there, under that red sky, with Logan. Finally, one morning she received a box. Inside, a map. A note with only 3 words. "Follow the path." And a ticket, one way, to Darwin. Rachel returned. She found him in the oasis, reconstructing a small conservation center they had dreamed of together during the trip. She approached without saying anything. He saw her, and said nothing either. He only hugged her. And this time, neither Faf